Excellency, Madam Halimah Yacob, President of the Republic of Singapore, members and friends in this room, welcome to the Europe Business Summit. I think there is no better occasion than have you this year with us since our chamber is just turning 20 years old. Looking at Singapore Budget 2021, that was delivered in Parliament by DPM Heng. And beside, again, looking how strong the support of this government is in a post-pandemic world, really remarkable. But the topic that I want, for me, were particularly striking, I try to bring it down to 3 words. And the 3 words to me are digitalization, talent, and sustainability. Digitalization is really the rule of the game in a post-COVID pandemic. I believe that COVID has been a tremendous accelerator in digitalization. I believe that my wishful thinking that soon we can celebrate a EU-Singapore digital agreement. The second word I was mentioning is talent. Talent is definitely crucial and probably the most precious asset of all your organization. We took in this chamber few steps in the last few months to reaffirm the commitment that we have to keep investing in talent, keep investing in local talent, and reaffirm the importance that the investing in local workforce has for European companies. Lastly, sustainability for the friends of EuroCham has been definitely the anchor topics in the DNA of Europe since I was growing up. Sustainability or the green or the need of not only respect the environment, but trying to make it viable and try to make it resilient. It was always quite a central topic, not like today, but it was a central topic. Singapore, allow me to say, had been a pioneer on this, at least in some segment. I was reading again a sentence that made me think very deeply on the leadership that we need in trying to drive this one, and I want to share with you. We have built, we have progressed, but there is no hallmark of success more distinctive and more meaningful as the cleanest and greenest city of Southeast Asia. The gentleman speaking is former Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew. He said this in 1968.
Last year has been turbulent and in many ways disruptive as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. With vaccination campaigns against the coronavirus underway in many countries and the global rollout of vaccines under the COVAX facility accelerating, we can now be hopeful to see the light at the end of the tunnel. As we embark on the path towards recovery, working together between the EU and Singapore is only natural as like-minded partners in making green, sustainable and digital recovery a priority for the future. In the EU, in December 2019, we adopted the European Green Deal, aiming at making the European Union climate neutral by 2050. On the digital front, the EU will continue to play its role in shaping global rules to ensure cross-border data flows and as part of Europe's digital agenda.
Today's event is a good example of our strong economic relationship and the relevance of the European business community, not just in Singapore, but also in our region. The EU-Singapore Free Trade Agreement has served as an anchor for our 2 economies. In line with our sustainable development ambition, the Singapore Green Plan 2030 was unveiled on the 1st of February this year. I am glad that EuroCham Singapore also successfully launched the Sustainability Awards recently to recognize European and local companies distinguishing themselves in this field. Indeed, as mentioned by the President of the EU Commission, Ursula von der Leyen at the awards, Europe and Singapore are walking in parallel on the path towards a greener economy. Another area of possible collaboration is digitalization. Digital economy collaboration between our 2 sides will strengthen our digital connectivity as well as develop new opportunities. I'm also delighted to see the affirmation of European companies in Singapore and their commitment to our local workforce in the video campaign launched by EuroCham Singapore at the start of this year. Singapore too continues to welcome talents with the right expertise to complement Singaporeans. I hope both Singapore and the EU will further our economic partnership to the next level.
The Singapore Free Trade Agreement was signed. A year on, in your view, how much do you think has been achieved?
It's indeed a very important piece of agreement between the EU and Singapore, and for various reasons. Because we have very deep economic ties in terms of investments, in terms of trading between the EU and Singapore, and also people-to-people ties.
We talk about taking it a step further. The FTA has been signed. What next? What should be the next milestone? In your speech, you were indicating that perhaps a digital agreement could be signed.
I think that's definitely the way to go. I really hope that a digital agreement can be signed. We are actually doing quite an extensive work at EuroCham level that we hope to publish soon, whereby our digital committee is making sure to try to understand from our companies here if this digital agreement is really needed and how to be exploited and how to be designed. So definitely yes.
A lot of Singapore companies are expressing interest in investing in the EU. Give us a sense of where the biggest opportunities are.
Really, Europe is the place to look for technology, for innovation, and I think we should stop thinking in our brainstorming and in our conversation that innovation stop at whatever is done in Silicon Valley, because there is so much more in innovation that is produced in Europe and in other countries.
Let's pick up on the issue of sustainability and Singapore's green agenda. First and foremost, how much of a game changer it is?
The Green Singapore Master Plan 2030 is something that is at the top of the agenda. So we will have to have new areas of growth in renewable energy, in sustainable development economy, and we need to make sure that people are trained in these areas.
How do you envision that transition to be, and what do you make of the plan?
It's not just a question of just making a 2030 plan, but you're quite right that you've got to flesh it out. We aim to achieve zero carbon emission by the second half of the century. And by 2040, we will phase out all the vehicles using diesel. So it will be electric vehicles. And then for buildings, you need buildings to make sure that they are not emitting too much carbon. But we also cannot overlook the fact that moving towards a carbon neutral or zero carbon situation requires also results in a lot of disruptions. Workers will be disrupted. So we do have these professional conversion programs so that they can do the jobs that are available in the green economy.
When you take a look at the crisis right now, and if Singapore were to chart its future, what do you think some of the steps it needs to take to ensure that it is a greener future?
In 2030, obviously, we are targeting towards much cleaner technology, clean businesses, clean manufacturing, production. We also must ensure that it is an equitable, fair development and growth. So as a whole, this is what we try to do, because you're quite right that it cannot just be the government taking the lead, businesses interested, but what about the people? It is the people that must, at the end of the day, support it and sustain it.
Asia seems to be leading the recovery in various degrees. Your take on the kind of recovery you're expecting and what role you see Singapore playing in the global recovery?
Well, I agree. In short, I think that, yes, the recovery probably will come mostly from Asia. It's already coming mostly from Asia. Singapore has a very unique role. They have the opportunity to be very well positioned, to come out very strong, but to remain as open as they were, to make sure that the same conversation happening between different people remain here, so that the company keeps investing here, the headquarter remains here for the rest of Asia. And I think that we are very well positioned for that.
Madam President?
Singapore will remain committed to be an open, transparent, rules-based a country where it will be supportive of businesses, it will support investments, and its focus will be to create jobs and opportunities for our people.
On that very optimistic note, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking Federico and Madam President for their insights today. Thank you.